Guys, welcome back. In this very video, I'm going to share with you how to troubleshoot a three-phase induction motor, and we are going to be conducting three main tests. That is the resistance test, short circuit test, and earth leakage test. And one key thing I have to bear in mind is that when troubleshooting a three-phase motor, you have to make sure that the motor power supply is being disconnected. It is very important to bear that in mind. And don't also forget that a good motor winding shows low resistance. So without wasting much time, let's get started. What I will do is to tune my digital multimeter to the continuity section or the resistance section. You have it right here. We have the continuity, resistance, and diode. So what I will do is to tune it to that symbol. You have three symbols there. So when I push this select, you see here, it is going to change from one symbol to the other depending on what you want to check. This is the continuity, that is the beep or the beeping. Okay, we are going to be using the resistance. Okay, this is the resistance. Let's test it first. Okay, it's 0.1, meaning there is continuity. Now what you will do is to conduct the resistance test. But before we conduct the resistance test, let's look at something here. You could see that we have a bridge. This is a bridge, this is also a bridge, and we have another bridge here. This is a delta motor. It is because of the bridging that we have here that makes this motor delta motor. We have star and delta, and this is delta. With the star, you are going to be seeing the bridge at one side. It is these three bars that has been linked at one side. We have U1, V1, and W1. We have the top here, W2, U2, and V2. And you could see that we have U1 connected to W2. We have V1 connected to U2. We have W1 connected to V2. It is these bars or these metal bars that makes W1 to be connected to V2, V1 to be connected to U2, U1 to be connected to W2. It is these bars. Now inside the motor, we have U1 connected to U2. That is how the windings are. U1 links to U2, V1 links to V2, W1 links to W2. But because of the motor configuration, that is why we have U1 corresponding to W2, V1 corresponding to U2, W1 corresponding to V2. Because of the configuration, that is why you are seeing it this way. But technically, we have U1 linking to U2, V1 linking to V2, W1 linking to W2. That is how the windings are. So, without wasting much time, let's get started. With the resistance test, you have to check whether U1 corresponds to U2, whether there is a link between them, and technically there must be a link between U1 and U2. So what I will do is to place one probe at this side and the other one at this side. And one thing I have to bear in mind is that a good motor winding shows low resistance. So even if you are new to induction motors, how to bear in mind that a good motor winding shows low resistance. Now let's conduct the test. That is the resistance test. You have to check whether U1 corresponds to U2, V1, V2, W1 corresponds to W2. So let's check it. This is U1. This is U2. So I place it here. Because there is a link, that is the bar we have here, I can also place it here and it is going to work. What I will do is to bring it here, or even just connect it to cable log. It is going to work. Okay, we are having 2.8 ohms, 2.7. If the windings are in good condition, the values of the resistance test must be identical. So I place it here, 2.9, 2.8. Okay, we are having 2.8. Now let's check V1 and V2. This is V1, V2. also 2.8. Okay, W1 and W2 also 2.8. So technically the motor winding is in good condition because the value is 2.7. the values are almost the same, or even sometimes it is going to differ slightly. It is okay. But if the difference are huge, let's say one terminal is giving you 2.8 and when you check the other one it is giving you something like 4 or 5, but the other windings are giving you 2.7, 2.8, how to know that there's something wrong with that particular winding? So always bear in mind that a good motor winding shows low resistance, or there should be a slight difference. Okay, now we are done with the resistance test. That is the U1 to U2, V1 to V2, and W1 to W2. That's the resistance test. You can also check the resistance between the phases, and that is going to be the short circuit test. You have to check whether the windings are shorting each other, whether there is a link between the phases, something like U1 and V1, whether there is a link between these windings. Technically, there shouldn't be a link between U1 and V1. They are two separate windings. But because of the bridge that we have here, there's going to be a link. Now look at this. This is U1. This is V1. We are having 2.8 ohms. Because we have U1 linked to V1, that is why we are having 2.8. If there is no link, it's going to give me a different value. So after this test, what I will do is to remove the metal bars and we check them separately to see what is going to happen. So if you are new to motors, it is also advisable to remove the metal bars before conducting the test. But if you are somebody that troubleshoots three-phase induction motors every blessed day, you are going to know how the windings are. And even without removing the metal bars, you can still conduct the test. Now, we are conducting the short circuit test. So, U1 and V1. Because of the metal bar we have here, there is a link. We have U1, this is U2. Because of this bar linking to V1, that is why we are having a link. So as I said, I'll remove the metal bars and we also check it to see what is going to happen. We have 2.7. Let's check U1 and W1. We are having 2.8. You could see that we have W2 at this side and also W1. I said it earlier on that W1 and W2 are connected to each other. W1 and W2 is one winding. So if I check U1 and W1 here, because there is a link here, that is from U1 to W2, and from the W2 inside the motor, it comes to W1 here. So that is how the windings are. You can also check this side, W1 and V1. There is a link because you have V2 at the top here. You have this as V1. So we are having 2.7 because V1 is connected to V2. And as you are checking it from W1, there is a link between V1 and V2. So technically, it is going to give us 2.7. That is all about the short circuit test. So with this test, I can tell that the motor is in good condition because the values are identical. If a winding is given more than what others are given, it means there is something wrong with that winding. If all the windings, the readings are identical, but one particular winding, the reading is far different from the others, how to know that there is something wrong? Okay, now let's conduct the earth leakage test. With the earth leakage test, we want to confirm that this case, the metal case of the motor, is not touching, or there is no link between the winding and the metal part of the motor. This whole metal part, there is no link between the winding and the metal part. And technically, there shouldn't be a link between the metal part of the motor and the winding or the lines. So what I will do is to check it from this side here and any metal part of the motor. There is a paint over here, so you have to make sure that your probe is touching the metal part. You have to either scratch the paint off and check it, or you can check it from the inside. You have the earth terminal here, you can check it there. You're having OL, that is the open loop. There is no link between W1 and the earth terminal we have here. You can check it one by one if you want. So I can tell that the motor is in good condition. We conducted the resistance test, short circuit test, earth leakage test. So guys, we are done with the 3 major tests. What I will do is to remove the metal bars. If you are new to induction motors, just remove the metal bars and be free. You can just conduct the test easily. So what I will do is to remove the metal bars and we quickly conduct the 3 major tests. Okay guys, I've removed the bridge or the link. Now let's conduct the resistance test. This is U1, it corresponds to U2, so let's check it from this side. Okay, we are having 4.1. Let's check from the V1 and V2. This is 4.2, W1 and W2. Okay, this is 4.2. So I can tell whether the motor is in good condition or it is not in good condition based on the resistance value. We are having 4.2, 4.3, meaning the motor winding is in good condition because all the values were the same or even identical or something like that. Now, when we were having the metal bars, we were having 2.7, 2.8. And right now, as I remove the metal bars, the resistance has increased to 4 something. And because we will have the same resistance value, I can possibly tell that this motor is in good condition because of the values that came. The value that came when we were having the metal bars shouldn't confuse you that it was different from this one. They were all on the same line. Now you have conducted the resistance test on all the terminals. You have 6 terminals here. And I can possibly tell that the motor is in good condition. Let's also conduct the short circuit test. We are also using the same resistance to conduct the short circuit test. You have to check the lines. You have U1, V1, W1. You have to check whether there is a link between these windings. So we have U1, V1. Let's check it. We are having OL. There shouldn't be a link between U1 and V1. U1 and V1 are separate windings, but U1 and U2 is one winding. U1 and U2 are linking to each other, but because of the configuration, that's why we are having U1 here and U2 here. So that is how it works. Open loop, open loop, open loop, open loop. So guys, that is how to conduct short circuit test. We had values when we were having the metal bars on top here because the bar link one terminal to the other. That's why we were having values. And as I said, if you are new to induction motor, just remove the bridge or the terminals and you can easily conduct the test. But if you are somebody that deals with induction motors, you know how to conduct the test if you have the bridge or the linking bars on the terminals. If you have it, you can conduct it. But if you are new to motors, just remove the terminals and conduct it individually. Let's also conduct the earth leakage test. U1 to the earth terminal, open loop, or even any other part of the motor. You have a paint over here, so you have to scratch the paint off before you conduct the test as the earth leakage test. You also have the earth terminal in here, so you can easily check it from this side. You can check all the terminals. You have an open loop, meaning there is no link between the earth and the lines of the motor or the windings of the motor. There is no link, and technically there shouldn't be a link. So guys, that is how to troubleshoot a 3-phase induction motor. If you find this video helpful, consider subscribing to this channel and make sure to turn on the notification bell so that anytime I drop a video, YouTube is going to notify you. This motor got bent, so I took it to the rewinding shop and they brought it back today. And I just conducted the test to see whether it's in good condition or it is not. I want to show you guys how the windings are. It is very heavy. Okay, this is the inside of the motor. Thank you guys, and see you in my next video. Bye bye.